Hey, let's talk about our lines. So there's a couple things you need to know before we start. So parallel lines and perpendicular lines. Parallel lines have the same slope. I have two lines and they look like this. They're tilted the same way, so they would have the same slope. The slope is talking about how tilted they are. So let's say I have a line and the original slope is 5. My parallel slope will also be 5. Okay? So if my original line has a slope, of 1/2, my parallel line will have a slope of 1/2. That's easy, right? Okay? And we'll have some examples. The thing about perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes. So they are opposite because if you imagine perpendicular lines, they look like this. So one of them is going down, one of them is cutting right across, so it's going to be the opposite and flip the sign. So their slopes look like this. Okay, so if my original line has a slope of 1/2, like over here, my perpendicular line will have a slope of -2 because I had to flip. Because -2 as a fraction would be -2 over 1. So we flip, and that's the opposite reciprocal. So opposite reciprocal is not only do I flip the number, yeah, that looked like a flip, y'all. Not only do I flip the number, but I also got to change the sign as well. My original slope was 3/4. My perpendicular slope would be -4/3. Okay, let's try another one. Do it with me now. If my original slope was 5/2, my perpendicular slope would be 2/5, or see, -2/5. Okay. Let's say my original was -4/7. What you think it's gonna be? +7/4. This one was negative, this one positive. Okay. So let's say my original line was like this and my other one was like this. So this one going this way, this one going the opposite way. Not only the opposite way, but it's also flipped different, so I'm gonna flip my sign as well. This got a positive slope, this got a negative slope. All right, so let's do one more example before we move to our word problem examples. 9/10, my perpendicular slope would be -10/9. Okay, that's it. Y'all might be seeing this worksheet. I like this. This is real nice. This is nice here. So I'm a little both. You know, my kid's blind like me. Write an equation that's parallel, so I had to go out of the, okay now. All right now. Now they gave me this, y = x + 5, and it passes through point -1, -1. What is my slope? If I don't have a number in front of my variable, my slope is 1. My point that is passing through is -1, -1. And then all I gotta do is fill in my equation. So my original, okay, this is h, this is k. Now all I gotta do is plug in. Equation would be y, because we leave that alone, y minus or plus 1, because that's a -1. Slope is 1. 1 times x plus 1. Now we could leave that x out. That 1 out. So we'll say y plus 1 equals x plus 1. But if it's making sense to do it like this and you're comfortable right here, that's fine. You're still right. Okay? My slope, -3. Remember, the number that's always beside x, that's the one that's your slope. If you solve for y already. So we get to the point where we just see a number beside x and we like, that's the slope. If you haven't solved for y yet, no, it's not. Okay? My point is 2, 4. Remember the 2, 4, h, k. Y'all see that? Alright, now plug in. Y stays the same. Minus K, 4, equals my slope, -3. X minus 2. That's my parallel line. Let's have a dance party. Yeah, Chloe. Alright, write our original. And if you need to write the original every time we do this, baby, you need to do that. You need to do that. Okay? My slope, 1/4. Oh, my point, they gave me 3, 3. My point slope would be y minus k. Oh, I didn't write, sorry. H. Okay. Y minus 3 equals my slope, 1/4, x minus 3. Baby, you know you fine, don't you? Ooh. So now I want to make perpendicular. My original equation, let's write that so we're comfortable. Sometimes it just makes you more comfortable to write the original first. I love it. I love it because the more you write it, the more you're going to remember it. Now, what do we remember about perpendicular lines? They got to have the opposite reciprocal. So my original slope was 2. My point is 3/4. Fill in. Remember, this is still H, K. Y minus K, 4, equals pause. Parallel, I would put 2. But now that it's perpendicular, I got to do the opposite reciprocal. And the opposite reciprocal of 2 is -1/2. X minus H, 3. Ain't going. He missed a pump faker. I missed a pot scraper. This ain't my favorite Boss Man song though. My favorite Boss Man song is Sports Center. We still talking about perpendicular now. So my slope is 1/2. My point is 8, -10. Now remember, if it helps, let me write it right here. My perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes. The opposite reciprocal of 1/2 is -2. Because really it would be -2/1, but -2. So now I'm ready. My K, I didn't fill it in this time. My K is -10, so I changed my minus sign to a plus because it's a -10. M is -2 now. X minus 8. Let's dance. This is fun fact. This song is actually a response to Beyonce's "To the Left, everything you own in the box to the left." Not saying that Wayne and Beyonce still, go together, but it's just like a boy version. If I get to play comfortable. I'm ready now. So what's the slope of my original line? 1/3. My point is -4. So once you see this, you should know I'm going to be changing signs at some point, okay? The opposite reciprocal of 1/3 is -3. Now I'm ready to build my equation. Y minus, or plus, 4 equals -3 x plus 4. Okay, so this is one that we did today. So this is mainly how they'll look though. So they're not always gonna be just an equation, a point, and now I got to make it. It's gonna be some words in there. Write an equation for a line that passes through the origin. What is the origin? The origin is 0, 0. So this part of the graph. And it's perpendicular to y equals 5x minus 2. So what's the slope I'm working with? 5. What's the point I'm working with? The origin, okay? So slope, original slope, my bad. The original slope is 5, and the point is 0, 0. Now what we're gonna have to, because we've learned parallel and perpendicular, you have to pay attention to what they're asking for, because at some point, you're gonna be going and going and going. You're gonna, depending on which one you like, you're gonna go so fast, and you're like, oh, I know how to do this. You're gonna write a parallel, and they asking for a perpendicular. So you gotta make sure you're paying attention to that. My original slope was 5. What's gonna be my new slope? Negative 1/5. Yep. Y minus 0 equals negative 1/5. X minus 0. Okay? Now, this one right here got everybody. Because what everybody wanted to do was get right here and say, oh, the slope is negative 2. Because if the equation is in standard form and I want to see the slope of y-intercept, what I gotta do? Say it at your house right now. Solve for y. But get y by itself. Let me zoom in a little bit. So now I know my slope. Before I did not know my slope, but now I do because y is by itself and the slope is 2/7. So I'm working with a original slope, 2/7, and my point, which is what they gave me, negative 3, 4. So what's my new line? Y minus k, HK, y minus 4 equals the opposite reciprocal, negative 7/2, x minus, but that's a negative 3, okay? I can't put this in the video. Oh, I got dreads now. I think that's all. That's it, little dude. You done. Let's do this together, because this was cool. I like this activity actually. So let me do the hard work for you, because I'm nice. This particular problem, all I needed to know was the slope. I found the slope for you. You're welcome. 1/5. Now this particular problem was asking, are these lines parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Parallel, I need my slopes to be the same. Perpendicular, I need opposite reciprocals. Neither, it ain't now one, okay? So let's see. My slope for this line is 0.2. 1/5 as a decimal is 0.2. So this will be parallel because they have the same slope, okay? Negative 2. Now, if my slope is 1/5, I'm either gonna have 1/5 or I'm either gonna have what? Negative 5. Let me write that under here. That would be cool. Those are the only options I can have for it to either be parallel or perpendicular. If it's anything other than these two, it's neither. So this one will be neither. 5. Positive 5. Which one is that? Now this, everybody would think that, oh, I gotta solve it. No, you don't. No, you don't. Look at this. This is the same thing as y minus k equals m x minus h. D and this are the same thing. So what's my slope right here? M. What's my slope right here? Negative 5. So which one? Perpendicular. Okay, put the 2 and 2. Okay, put the 2 and 2 together. What's my slope right here? 2. Is that 1? What's my slope right here? What I need to do first to get that slope, because we can't see no slopes if there's something on the same side as y. So what I need to do? Solve for y. Yup, you so smart. Oh my God. So how do I get y by itself right here? I subtract 5x on both sides. Now what I see some people do is you see this and your immediate answer is the slope is 3. No. The slope is whatever number is beside x. as long as you solve for y. And what's my slope? -5. So that means this line is what? Perpendicular. Bam. I just threw that in there for a little extra, read all about it, but that's all, man. It's easy stuff. Easy stuff. Make sure you study. I'm gonna put some practice on Canvas. I like this little sheet though. So we might end up doing this one day as well. But still, I'm gonna put some practice on Canvas. That's it. These videos will hopefully be up by tomorrow, Saturday. So we'll see. Have a great day. I'm finna go home, get ready for the basketball game tonight. Playing against Sugar Creek. Shout out to them boys and them girls. That's it. What, how many days? 13 days to my birthday, y'all. Let me turn the music up on that.
To be going. When we buy new Chanel, yeah, talking. I can tell you go.
I like cash talk. Lady diamonds hitting, turn the flash off. I'm like Win Dixie, I get bags off. Baby got a pretty face.